Oh yeah. Y'all know what it is. Eagles wear boxing. Yo, huh? If you're not joining Eagles wear, what you joining? Yeah, that's right. Mm. Yeah, we in here. Yeah, messing around, doing some stuff because that's what I do. I was trying to find something that was probably right in front of my face, and I thought it was somewhere else. And it wasn't. It was right where it should have been. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm getting very close. I'm getting very close to giving up on boxing. It's just getting close, man, because like I was saying last time, so there's really no excuses not to have fights. So I don't know what these guys are gonna do. I don't know if they think that they're gonna just keep pulling us along. I don't know. I ain't no hoe, man. It's like, I don't know if they think they just gonna keep pulling this along, for their ride. I'm not willing to go on it. And as far as Bud Crawford is concerned, he only has so many options of who he can fight to get my money. And it's not very many fights that he could actually. I don't even think I would pay. I don't know. Right now, I would have to probably be desperate to pay for Boots versus Bud Crawford. To be honest, I'm being honest with you. I'm keeping it a buck. I don't even know if I would pay for that. I don't know. It's not too many people I would pay to see him fight. I might pay to see him fight Keith Thurman. They both talkers, so I don't know. I might pay to see that. Might. I just say as 100% possibility. I guess the Earl Spence fight is the only one that I think I would actually dig into my pockets and pay for. That's $79, man. $75 or something. And a lot of people are talking crap about Tank. Tank is the only pay-per-view star right now, really, to be honest. Nobody's paying for... There's not a lot of people that's paying to see Canelo fight. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But, like I said, boxing. Are we going to get boxing? Or is it going to be a holdout on boxing for money? And for the thing is, are we fight ready? Are we ready for fights, boxing? And what about us? What about the ones that we call ourselves the fans? What about us? What about it? Do we have a choice? Or do we have a choice? Do we have a voice? It looked like we don't have a choice. And it damn sure looked like we don't have a voice. So. But hopefully, we will, either have a voice or we will have a choice. Actually, both of them. I want a voice, a choice, and not necessarily watching Joe Joyce. No, I'm just kidding. That just fit in there, so I just threw it in there. Why not? Maybe. So, let's look at it. And let's look at it in different ways so we can see what's going on or what can go on. So even though a lot of people might think that there was a lot of excuses during the last fight that Boots Ennis had, there might have been a lot of excuses. You only make excuses when you are not totally prepared for everything. That's why you have the excuses as a professional. Because think about it. First of all, you labeled yourself as a professional. Anytime you're professional in anything, there's no excuses. There's just that somebody was a better professional, or somebody had something else on the table as a professional that you just couldn't deal with. You see what I mean? But it's never like, there's no excuse. As a professional, there's no excuses. I'm sorry. Because you are professionals, you're not amateur. Everything's cleaned up in the amateur ranks. And boxing doesn't have as many levels. You know what I mean? They usually, once you get to the, you get to the highest one in amateur is, I think, golden gloves, right? It's not silver gloves or just amateur boxing. But there's, usually people are in what they call golden gloves. So, from golden gloves, you usually go pro. There's no in between golden gloves. Well, there is a lot of little things in between there. You can fight for money and stuff like that. They do have little back alley boxing circuits and stuff that they don't promote. They don't really post. And then now they have people fighting on the internet. But for the most part, you go from amateurs to pro. Now, basketball, there's all kinds of levels. So basketball, you got the little small leagues. I don't know exactly what to call it. It might be still considered under Pee Wee. Then you got the elementary school. That's when you start really picking up even better skills. And then after elementary, you may have junior high. Then you got high school, right? Then you got different levels of college. You got JC college. You got university level, right? And then within those levels, you have other levels within those levels, because you have a letter and you have a number and letter system to show exactly, what kind of school you're at. You know what I mean? And usually you'll be in and then depending on where you're at, you'll be in a certain division, right? Because all four year colleges aren't equal. And then you got different leagues of basketball. Then you got semi-pro. You got semi-pro, and then you got pro, where you can just go pro overseas. And then the NBA also has different levels. Same thing with football. I'm not gonna go through all the levels in football, but there's quite a few levels in football, and there's quite a few levels even in baseball. Because you got the minor leagues, you got the major leagues, then you got also you got summer, you got overseas, and they actually have a semi-pro also, right? But then you got elementary, you got junior high, you got high school, you got college on different levels. But for our boxing, we mostly just have amateur, and then we have professional. Simple as that. So you have to graduate, you go straight to professional. So maybe, just maybe, and I don't know who's listening, but maybe we need to have another section in boxing. Maybe we need to have another league, another boxing league that will satisfy us even more. Because amateur boxing is televised and professional boxing is televised. So why not just have another level? Guys that's not quite good enough, or just they want to develop to get enough to be pros, and they didn't have the amateur background, and we just call it semi-pro boxing. And they can have good matches on there, good bouts on there. Even if they did pay, we can do pay-per-view for them. Maybe it's only like $10.99, or we'll watch them for $10.99. We'll watch them for $14.99. We'll probably even watch them up to $19.99 for a good card, because they can have a nice stacked card. You know what I mean? So it's something that we could look at, and something we can take into consideration. So that's some of my points right there. I want to see. We got some fights coming up. And I don't know what happened. I don't stay up on a lot of this stuff. Like you got things about the Conor Ben. You guys have to tell me about that stuff. I don't know. I got people for that. Like, I got people like Yasser Hussein and Derek Bailey. Those people, they keep up on stuff like that. So I don't know what happened to. Yeah. Okay. I think that might have been something else. Yeah. Oh, okay. That was, yeah, we knew about that before. Yeah, catch weight. But Chris Eubanks is about to. Is Chris Chris Eubanks is about to fight anyway. So yeah. But I don't understand some of the stuff that they have, like the fertility and stuff like that. VADA, okay, and that was so kind of messed up on the VADA testing a couple of times. So they're saying that he failed like a few times, but that's been passed already. You know, that's been passed already. So yeah, a lot of people are making. So there's a lot of comments on there. If you guys want to look, you can read. There's an article there on. There's an article there on Boxing Scene, so y'all can check that out. Out there on Boxing Scene, if you want to see, if you want to read the latest on Conor Ben. Yeah, but we got Liam Smith back in there. He's actually the one who's gonna fight Eubanks. Eubanks Jr. I don't know. Does Chris Eubanks Jr. really want to fight? Or does people just don't want to fight him, or what's going on with him? Uh-huh. Yeah. Let's just read a little bit that all my nieces and them. I'm sorry, Avanesian. So Avanesian. I guess it's Avanesian. No, it's not Avanesian. But a lot of people they talking about people's punching power. Yeah. Just gonna mention some names that's back on the scene, or just you guys probably don't want to see them, but even Hatton is throwing his hat out there, and we haven't even got to the nuts and bolts. We haven't really got to the nuts and bolts in this conversation yet. We haven't even really got to the nuts and bolts, because the whole money thing, like I said, the one that is synonymous with calling themselves money, I think that he had a lot to do with the way these boxers' attitude is today. Because if you look at it, that they're still calling Canelo the pound for pound, even though we know he'll get his ass whooped. Even though we know that. We know that he's gonna get his ass whooped. We know that if he fights in Eddie Hearns, you can't trust him because he's probably lying. Eddie Hearns talking about that he's going to fight Bivol at 168 for undisputed. That's his prediction. Ain't nobody trying to listen to Eddie Hearns' prediction. Eddie Hearns, get out of here with all your predictions. I predict that there's a lot of people that want to slap you a couple times. I predict that. Now, what? That's what I think. That's what's going on in my mind. I think there's a few people that want to slap you back and forth a couple times, dude. Now, you willing to wager me on that? Because I'm quite sure there's a few people who want to smack you back and forth. You know, a lot of you promoters, money mongers, are just really messing up boxing. You're scrambling. You're not making the money that you used to, or the money that you put out there in your mindset when you got into this business to say that, you know what, I'm going to make X amount of dollars. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's just not working for you. There's a lot of variables to why the money is not there in boxing. A lot. There's a lot of things that's going on and to why the money's not there. And I'm sorry, you can feel however you feel, that's the way you feel. But the money's not there. It's a certain reason why it's not there. It's just, is it just going to materialize and be there? We're trying to make the best deals, trying to, get as much. And I can understand why you want to get as much money as you can to fight somebody. But sometimes you can't get the money that you want. There's a difference between getting the most money that you can, or getting the money that you actually are, you're actually worth, or that anybody around you is worth. We really don't have a division right now. I would say 135 is pretty stacked, but we don't have a division where people are just going to get too excited. And I think, and for one thing, I'll go back to the Tank. The Tank factor. So the Tank factor is that Tank is good, but he looks so flawed sometimes. He looks like everybody can just whoop him and everybody's outboxing him. But what you're not seeing is Tank will take a lot from a fighter. He's not taking as much. He's smiling after every fight. So he's not taking as much as we think he is. He'll take a couple of shots. He said, okay, I'm going to get. He doesn't try to get back like right away. So there's a few things about Tank. He doesn't try to get back right away, whereas when he hits somebody, they try to get back right away. At first, they're caution. They're very cautious and stuff. And then he tags them a few too many times, and then they try to get back. By that time, I think we covered this before. By that time, he already sees your pattern. He knows the pattern. He knows how you're going to come at him. You see what I mean? So if he knows how you're going to come at him, then he's going to do accordingly to what he has to do. You know what I mean? So if you turn up the heat, you're still with that same pattern that you got going. He knows how his defense, he already knows how he's going to defend it. But better than him defending it, he knows how he's going to counter. That's what people don't understand. That he'll get you into a brawl. It's not really a brawl type brawl. You're not just slugging out. It's not like a Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler type of brawl. But when he gets you to start punching, it gets your confidence, because you build your own confidence. You're like, oh shit, he ain't that hard. And that's what you're thinking. No, he's not that hard. I can get him. Soon as you get to a certain point where you think you got him and you turn up the heat, then he knows all your moves. He's waiting. Even if he doesn't know, he's adjusting on the fly, like boom, boom, boom. Okay, you hit me with that. You missed that one. Okay, take counter time, and here comes a hook or uppercut. And that's usually what it is. Sometimes it might be a right hand. Sometimes it might be a smashing left or right. But for the most part, it's a hook or uppercut coming. And that's what he waits for. He waits for you to do that. But the reason I mention him is because maybe he's worth the money that a lot of you guys, I'm sorry, no matter what your name is, and people get excited about you, that your name ain't worth the dollars. You need to get your ass out there and fight. All of you. You need to get your asses out there and fight. As simple as that. Get your ass out there and fight. Stop holding us for ransom, or however you want to call it. Stop holding us up, because that's what you guys are doing. You holding us up. You're holding up all the action. And we need to get these fights in. As simple as that. We need to get the fights in. And we're just not getting all the fights that we need to get. You know what I mean? And I wanted this to be like a conversation today. A lot of times, I could just rattle and rant on or whatever. Sound like an angry old guy. Oh, he's an old guy who's angry. People look at me like I'm 100 years old. Good. I look good for 100. If I am, that would be cool. I don't know. Who even wants to live long like that today? I do. But I would rather have health, though. If I'm going to live that kind of length, I would rather be like, have my health and everything to be hanging around here. But this whole thing, salute to Derek Bailey, this whole thing is what people is not getting and what we have to get. And that is, you guys are not worth the money that you think you're worth. That's all it is to it. I don't care what your name is. I don't care. I'm in the no care business. So I'm not caring what your name is right now. If you're not worth the money, you're just not worth the money. And you guys are going to kill us on these fights. And now you got, like I said, you got Ricky Hatton. He wanting to chime in. I wouldn't mind doing an exhibition with Floyd because he's going to get paid. And Floyd is not going to really punk him. You know what I mean? He's going to actually give him some money. You know what I mean? Floyd is not going to punk him. He's going to actually give him some money. Ricky Hatton probably needs some money. But all this does is take away from boxing, man. They have destroyed, because of the money. And Mayweather did not invent the money for boxing. Because if you did the math for inflation and stuff, probably even Sugar Ray Leonard probably made close to, what he made, because you're looking at, 30, 40 years ago, something like that, 30 years ago. Something like that, over 30 years ago. You're looking, and then Ali, broke the bank too. Matter of fact, who made the most money? You can argue if you want to, but probably who made the most money is Jack Johnson. If you look at the era from when he was fighting and how much money he was getting, because he was getting the gate back then. That's why he was driving around in new cars all the time. He had all kinds of race cars and everything. He was always driving around in something new. Probably had houses everywhere, and then didn't even stay in houses as much. It seemed like he was in. I don't know. I forget what. I don't know what they call, not the homesteads, but he was in different, hotels and everything else. So did his little stint, more or less ran to prison. Wow, how gangster can you get? For these guys today that really think that they're gangsters, you know what I mean? Because we didn't grow up the way that these people grow up today. The older folk that went to prison and jail, it wasn't all that. There wasn't no main man on the yard. There wasn't no pod boss and shit like that. When there was a older man that went to prison, you know why? Because those guys respected the older guy. Now, they punk them and whatever else. They treat them like raw meat or new meat. That's how they treat them. But back in the day, if you went to prison and you was older like that, and depending on, they knew you when you went there. They knew who you was when you got there. They already knew. And they had the respect for you. Now they don't. There's a lot of factors that play a big role in the decision makings of boxing itself. We put ourselves out there too. Fans are putting themselves out there. You know what I mean? Sugar Ray wasn't as greedy as Floyd. Ray could have easily received $20 million to fight in the 80s. Yeah, he could have got a lot of money. Mike Tyson could have demanded more money, but he never did either. Yeah, because Mike Tyson, everybody wanted to see Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson could have had a $150 pay-per-view if he wanted. And guess what? Everybody would have paid. They would have paid. What happened back then, because they didn't have the internet like that. So what happened back there, if it was $150, guess what? They would have just had Mike Tyson fight parties. But it probably would have been more money spent. You know? Okay, they got the money. You're right. So he blew the money out. The money's blown out of proportion. So I don't see why you guys are scrambling and scraping for 10 million here and there. No, I don't have 10 million here and there like that. But you guys are professionals. I'm not a professional at nothing. I'm a professional at my show talking to you. I'm a professional at being who I am, native. That's what I'm a professional at. You know. And just like I said, I was mentioning that maybe we should have an intermediate boxing. Maybe they should have like a semi-pro boxing, not none of the back circuit type of stuff, but maybe they need to have another level of boxing. So maybe we can get some good fights. The guys that don't think they're quite good enough, they probably are, but they just don't think they're good enough to fight pro. You let them have their own. Just call it something else. I mean, I know they've tried boxing shows, but if they put it to where you're in between amateur and professional, so you could have intermediate boxing, right? Isn't there levels in between that word, amateur and professional? Isn't there levels in between that? I mean, in golf, you have collegiate level golf. You have high school, I think. Some procedures. You have high school. You got what do you say? You got college golf. Then you have right before you have amateur, and then you have professional. So you got different levels. But we don't have different levels in boxing. We need to have other levels in boxing so we can just quit watching. We don't have to work. If there's not a good pro bout on, F it. I don't care. There's no good pro bouts. I'm watching this intermediate level boxing, and they got great boxers on there. Because guess what? Then you're going to have some of the guys, because you say they get paid, but you're going to have some of the guys that just didn't make it in pro as good. They're going to have good fights down there. We're going to be watching good boxing because you're in it to watch boxing. You're not in it to hug up and suck up to somebody. You're in it for the boxing, the skills. And boxing. You're like, oh, damn, that was good. That was a good intermediate fight. I'll watch it. I mean, charge me $14.99 or whatever it is, so they can get paid. Charge me that if I can get good fights. Because even on our level, we've been watching some bullshit fights lately, and we've been and the fighters that think they better than what they are, we've been getting excuses and stuff. I don't want to hear that. I still like boots, but I don't want to hear all these damn excuses. Because you're a professional, first of all. You didn't have that intermediate level like you should have. So you went from amateur to professional. Hey, you got 30-something fights, right? How many fights you got? Like 30 fights? I don't know exactly. I ain't trying to keep up with the numbers, but hey, you're a professional. You've been stamped with that professional stamp. And I see a lot of professional fighters that do a lot of shit that's not professional, that you can't even do in amateur fights. I've seen professional fighters climb out the ring. You can't do that in amateur fights. You'll never get another fight. But in professional, you'll get another fight. There's a lot of shit you can get away with and call yourself professional. It don't even make sense to me. None of this shit's adding up to me. If you're supposed to be a professional, then you're supposed to, everything you do is professional. But they do a whole lot of sketchy shit, like the drugs and all kinds of stuff, tampering with shit, gloves and all that. How's that professional? You can't even do that shit in the amateurs. In the amateurs, you are absolutely banned. There's no penalty where you can't pay some kind of fees and come back. No. So we got to unlabel it. Maybe the amateurs are the real professionals. Maybe we got to unlabel this whole boxing thing. Don't have professional boxing. Just call it boxing. Just have different levels of boxing. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. But for me, I got a damn lot of questions. And nobody seemed to be able to be answering half the shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, Derek said right. See, I'm listening, Eagle. He said driving at the moment. All right, ain't no problem, man. Don't worry, man. I'll let you go. You can go and get your driving done. Yeah. I'm just trying to. This is another one of Eagles' state of boxing type of shows. It's like, what the F, man? Because now they're saying that Earl is probably holding out because of PBC, because of money and stuff like that, that he might not even fight Keith. I don't care if Earl fights Keith. Earl don't need to fight Keith. A lot of people want to fight, but I gives two damns. I see Sir Flame out there. Sir Flame said, salute to Eagles Web, salute to the chat. He said, and as always, he said, jab that like button or y'all neck. He said, don't get necked in Eagles Web boxing. Always got that fire up good with that 100 in that glove, like I said, brother. Got that fist up. And of course, just in case you don't know them things, baby, with ha. 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 Heart grab. Twist. Ha. Back fist. Over smash. Chop. Under. Elbow. Elbow. Right. That way. That. Right. That way. Always. Anytime you come over this way, you come back that way. So you come over this way, and you come back this way. Pow. So it's you go in this way, you either go down, or you go this way, and you go out. So this way, bring the arm down, bring it up, block that way. Derek know. Derek was in that. He was in that military. Derek know about that. He know that. He know that. Grab like that. Get it like that, Derek. Yep. Sir Flame says salute to Derek Bailey. Sir Flame also, Earl need to fight Bud. I'm not putting no fights on Earl. I'm not putting no fights on nobody. Because we have already established, Sir Flame, we have already got to the point. And Derek Bailey's driving right now, so he might not respond. Once he get, if he can stop, he'll respond back to you, brother. But we have already covered. So this is what we covered already, brother. We covered the whole point of the fighters at this stage, at this stage right now. We have already covered that these guys really don't have any bullshit fights left in them. There's no more fights. Name a fighter at 147, at 135. I'm talking about the top guys. At 154, 154 Charlo, so Charlo could fight anybody. He could fight. Charlo is the only one that can fight any bullshit fighter that he want to fight, in my estimation. Charlo, he can fight anybody he want to. He's undisputed. So no matter who he fights is for championship. He can fight anybody. He's the only one. Not even Haney, and Haney is more or less undisputed, but he can't. He has to fight somebody. Do you see? But there's no bullshit fights at these weights. There's no fights where they could just be bullshit at 160. There's none. Our main division that we watching is the welterweight 135. That's what the main division. We're not even watching heavyweight. When last time you heard somebody really talk about heavyweight? Like for a week. They don't say nothing. Nobody's talking about heavyweight. They know Tyson Fury there. They know Usyk is there. So we're not even interested right now. But we got to wait for our up-and-coming fighter to go in there and do what he got to do. We're waiting right now. So we're waiting on people to develop. And also we're waiting on Wilder to develop also more than just a punching style, is to get the hell out the way style. He has to take advice from that that song. Remember Ludacris? Move, bitch. Get out the way. So Wilder has to, if Wilder becomes elusive, there's nobody There's nobody that will be able to touch him in the heavyweight division. Mark my words. Uh, it's like that's all you have to work on, sir. Is you got to work on your elusiveness and your angles. That's it. It's not. It's not too many things. People act like there's a big cleanup you got to do with him. No, no. There's not a big cleanup. You know. Because if you're gonna jab, I would say it's a few things. Because you're a professional. We just talked about that. Y'all's professional. So just pick up a new way of a new jab. A new jab. Get off me. Get your ass off me. You got to get your. If Deontay Wilder just did that, keep his powerful right, whatever, his hooks or whatever, keep the style that he has. Just develop a get the F off me jab, and I'm over here, and and get that movement to where I'm over here. I ain't even over there no more. When you can have that conversation with somebody when you're fighting with them, say, I ain't even over there. What you swinging at? When you're making somebody play baseball, and they getting struck out, they're swinging a miss, then you're doing good. And then along with your side where you're tagging their ass, like bam, you take that one though. I'm over here. I'm out the way. But yeah, take these two pieces. Now what? What? And we don't get to see fights like that very often, where a guy don't even have to move his hands, where he's just dominating the fight so well. Where he's just like, what, man? You ain't doing shit. And he hit you with a left, hit you with a right every once in a while. Just piecing you up, just standing right up on you. You can't do nothing. Just moving his head. Just a little bit of head movement. He's making you miss. It don't even look like he's moving that much. He just bam, bam, what? He hurting you with everything he throws. We don't get to see fights like that. That's kind of a mismatch. We don't necessarily want to see those fights, but it would be good. It's refreshing every once in a while when you see somebody just like really dominate, instead of hearing some bullshit excuses. Oh yeah, this guy was running all night. That's gonna stay in my mind though. With the endings, hopefully y'all got to stop this shit. What happened? Won't you just realize, hey, you're not the greatest trainer that you thought you was. And that's really what it is. I'm being honest with you. That's really what it is because you did not see things further than you saw. You seen stuff and that was it. That's all you saw. Like, okay, we can do this. We get over this hump and blah, blah, blah. La, 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 la. Uh-oh. Controversial. Once controversy rears its ugly head, it makes other situations become ugly. Simple as that. Yeah. Sir Flame said if Wilder could move away from shots, he would be better. But the one thing that he needs to do is protect that temple area. Well, I don't even know if it's a temple area, because Wilder gets, you're right. It is the temple area, but I think it's a lot of the illegal shit that Wilder takes. Because the way he stands like that, because he kind of stands like this a little bit sometimes, He stands with his head forward sometimes. He just stands like that, kind of open. And they're going to throw those overhands and hit him behind the head. That's what messed Ali up, getting hit all up in the... You're getting hit in the spinal cord, more or less. I mean, how many spinal cord shots can you take before they start doing some kind of neurological damage? I never really seen Ali get smashed in the head like a lot of these fighters. He never really got smashed in the head. I don't even know if it was neurological. I think it was something chemical. I think something was done to him. Because believe me, I went over. I used to look at all his fights. I said, Ali don't even get hit. He's just the shit bouncing off him. I remember Dokes was trying to hit him. He was corner. Ali was just going like this. He was missing every shot. Ali never took, when he took flush shots, he'd go down and get right back up or whatever. So if you got enough sense and focus where you can get back up and fight, you're not. Well, you get a lot of fighters, they get knocked like completely cold, like they're knocked out cold. Like when I say cold, it's like damn. Like Pacquiao. Pacquiao's type of fighter get knocked out like cold. When he get knocked out, it's like cold knocked out. Like Khan, even Khan don't see. He's still talking fast or whatever. Maybe he's gonna slow down, but when he gets knocked out, I mean, then he's folding up, sleeping like, huh? What'd you say, sir? Sir Flame, what'd you, huh? Well, what was I doing? Oh, dude, no, son, you was knocked the F out. And just need to cut the ring off. That would stop the running. Yeah, but he wasn't getting ran on. And if you realize the ring was cut off a lot of times, go back and look at the fight. The ring was cut off. He just couldn't do shit. That guy had good, had good foot movement. If a guy has good foot movement, there's no really cutting the ring off. If you cut the ring off on somebody with good foot movement, all you're gonna do is you find yourself squared up in front of them. For somebody who's cutting off the ring, you got to be like a monster puncher if you're cutting off the ring. Because a lot of times when the guy is not gonna let you cut off the ring, when you do try to cut off the ring, you getting fired on. You taking a 2 or 3 piece. Because people used to try that with Sugar Ray Leonard all the time, try to cut the ring off. And when they try to cut the ring off, they gonna get a 3 or 4 piece. So you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. But you're right, you can try to cut the ring off. Some people it's possible to cut the ring off on, and some people it's better not to try to cut the ring off on them. So Wilder, if somebody cuts the ring off on Wilder, Wilder got a pretty good back foot, but Wilder, like I said, Wilder hit the number one thing for me is Wilder has to just get the F away from shots. And back to that temple shot, I think that the temple shot is devastating to Wilder, but I think it's the back of the head first though. It's like getting hit in the back of the head and then not saying nothing or not doing the same thing. I remember that Ali got so tired of it one time. I think it was against Webner, I think, that Ali got so tired, he kept telling the ref, hey, this dude keep hitting him behind the head, that he just grabbed him in the head, a headlock. Ali grabbed him in the headlock and just started pounding him in the back of the head, like, you gonna keep hitting me in the back of my head? And this is a dude with this guy had a thicker neck than Mike Tyson. Because I remember when Mike Tyson first came in, they was bragging about how thick his neck was and all that. Well, hey, I seen his big neck ass get reduced to an infant the first time he got put out. He was on his knees crawling and, trying to pick up his mouthpiece and fell all into the mat. Like, oh. So that thick neck don't mean shit. It's just, it's mental and everything else too, though. When his mind is right, though, nobody can test him. Because I've seen him take shots that I know probably could have knocked out a horse. And he still was standing there telling me, yeah, I got a chin. Like, shit, you do got a chin, brother. Take a shot like that. I mean, I've taken shots like that in football. That shit don't feel good, man. When you get hit underneath your chin with a forearm, feel like your brain went to the top of your helmet. Boom! God dang. What kind of shot was that? And those football players, they take it all the time. I know a lot of football players, man, that once they get out of football, man, most of them that have been damaged, they just start disappearing. They start shrinking down. Whew. They just start shrinking, man, like, everything start to atrophy on them and whatever. It's like, it's just not good, man. And they talk about it. They say, yeah, they take a lot of damage, man. I was listening to a football player, I'm not going to say who it was, but yeah, he was talking about, he said, yeah, so many years after he was in the league, he said after like a practice he said after a game, he said everybody ran to the ibuprofen, cabinet. It's like everybody was, running straight to the, to get the ibuprofen. I was like, damn, that's sad. That's sad if you think about it. That's really sad if you have to run to go get ibuprofen after a game. Because they really don't look out for those guys, man. If you look at those guys, man, those guys after 5 years out of the league, all of them, their hair is white. They're freaking 35, what? They're 35 years old. They're 35 years old. They can't walk. All their hair is white. From that shit just stressing them out. It's just like, damn. And people don't understand the athletes, man. Athletes go through that. All of them break stuff. They all probably suffer from broken toes. Especially basketball players. Basketball players, you can't play basketball on a professional level and never broke your foot ankle, toes, or leg. There's no way. If not, you done damage to them. Your girl said, "Let me take your socks off, baby," and she look underneath there. Your foot look like this. This is your foot. damn, damn. You start off and shit. You wear size 12 or 14, something like that. You wear 14D all your life, and then when you finish your career at basketball's over, you wearing a 6. So what happened to your feet? And you sitting there on the you 6'5". You 6'5" and you wearing a size 6 now because your toes and foot's all crumbled up. You wearing like a 6 or 7 triple E or whatever, something like that. The shit's all wide. Your foot is like your shit's round now. You know what I mean? But this is what they go through. Don't try to put us through it, because we just fans, you know what I mean? We appreciate y'all sacrificing yourself like that. But speaking of the boxing, we expect you guys to go out there and not feel like you're so Mayweather worthy, because you're not, to be honest. And probably he wasn't. And the only way you're going to make that kind of money is you have to build up just as much hate as you have love. Right? If you got 2 million people that love you, then you have to have 2 million people that hate you. You see what I mean? You have to have 2 million people that hate you, because that's what, then you're going to get the money. Earl Spence, you don't have enough people that hate you. You have so many, but you're too good. That's the problem with you, Earl Spence, is you're too good to have haters. You got a lot of haters, but you just don't have enough haters, because you don't do shit. You don't talk. All you say is man down. If you say something like, man, I'll mess around and slap your mama and beat your whole family up. If you say shit like that, then you can start developing haters. Enough haters. You got haters, but you don't have enough. So you got to have enough haters. They didn't like Mayweather because of the money talk and this and that, you know. It was mostly because his arrogance. You know, he just seemed so arrogant. So that's why he built up enough hate. But you guys aren't building up enough hate. Oxygen time. Sorry if I say I dislocated my big toe playing basketball. Yep. That shit does not feel... I did too. That shit feels awful. It's so annoying, man. That broken toe, or that shit is so annoying. It's like, fuck. It's like, you don't think that something so small is going to affect your big ass body. But I think I'd rather have broke my leg than to dislocate or crack, break my toe. Because most time, if they do put it in something, they don't leave it in there very long. Most time they don't even put it in anything. They say let it heal naturally. So it started off like this, brother. It started off straight, and then once it healed naturally, it was shits like this. That's how they end up. Like these basketball players, but I tell you, they wear size 14D when they're in the league. They get out, they wear that 7 triple E and stuff. Wear 7 triple E because they foot look like that. I'm telling you, they foot look like this afterwards. Just imagine this what your foot look like after a career in basketball. This is what your shit look like. Your shit is like this. Oh, tarantula foot. Your feet look like a tarantula. It's not good. But we pay to watch you. We pay enough money to watch you guys to where, yeah, you can abuse your body, but that's for our entertainment. It shouldn't even, to be honest, sports shouldn't even exist. The sport that we should have is chasing wild animals or something like that. That should be our sport. Out there in the woods, seeing how, if we can catch up with a deer. That should be the real sport. Sports is something, man made this shit up, but because man made up sports, then you get man-made injuries because of this shit. Because if you were just out jumping over shit, climbing trees, hanging off of trees and jumping over bushes and stuff like that, then your body would develop a different way. And plus, you're out there on the ground, you wouldn't have all these different kind of injuries. But because they make these platforms like basketball, now basketball floor does, it's just not flat like people is. It does have a platform also to try to help protect the basketball players. But some floors, remember some floors used to be just put right straight on top of the concrete. And that's going to tear your ass up. And they do got some floors where you will break your shit if you stop too fast. They got these rubberized floors. I remember the first time I played on this one rubber floor, I was like, what the hell? And it was a different kind of rubber. I think it was experimental. Might have been asphalt type rubber. Because it wasn't even like a smooth surface. And it was just different. And then I remember playing on another rubberized type of floor. I don't know if it helps. Because you're going to get hurt regardless. Yep. Derek Bailey says salute. That Sir Flame. Yeah, he finally got a chance to say something. Holler back at you. Holler back, Derek Bailey. Yeah, but we pay you guys enough. You guys got to do what we want. Go out there and fight and shit. You stop tricking us out of our money. Got us like tricks. They tricking us out of our money. I'm tired of paying y'all. Shit, don't make me have to call Derek up and shit. We gotta get with cousin Hookup. Gotta call cousin Hook. Cousin Hookup. My uncle, I got this. Gotta call Uncle, I got this. Don't worry. Auntie, no worries about it. We gotta call one of them up to start watching y'all. If y'all not gonna do what you're supposed to, but I'm gonna stay on your ass, Boots. You gonna have to do some new shit now, though. You gotta do something new now because, like, a lot of people are saying, like I said before, they're saying exposure. Not for me. It's not exposure for me. What it is that you're not expected, to do certain shit. You just wasn't expected. You wasn't expected. A lot of times we're unexpected. We have a lot of things. Oh, that was unexpected. Yes, it was unexpected. And that's more or less what it is. It was unexpected. You feel? So, I'm not mad. Some people mad about it or whatever else. I'm not mad. Like I said, it was unexpected. That's all it was. It was unexpected. Because you were expecting one way. And what that does, that should caution you in boxing, is that you can't always expect stuff to go a certain way. It can get ugly. And a lot of fighters will say that. Oh, I thought he was going to do this, but it got kind of ugly in there. But, I got the win. You see that? That's professional. When you could name what a fighter did after the fight, you say, oh, he's trying to do this and whatever, but I had to get down and dirty with him, and this is what happened. Even Tank, young as you think Tank is, Tank has to know when he does his post-press or when he does his post-fight interview that he knows what to say. He's going to say, yeah, I knew this guy was trying to set me up. He was trying this and trying that, but I was reading through it, and I could feel, that I was starting to get to him. I could feel that I was hurting him. He knows, even if we don't know that somebody's getting hurt, he knows that somebody's getting hurt. Matter of fact, if you listen closely, he tells his coach when he's about to knock somebody out, oh, I got him hurt now. I'll probably take him out this round or the next. See, that's how you know that's a professional fighter. A professional fighter knows all. Amateurs don't know that. But a professional is supposed to know everything about that when he's in the ring. That's why I'm advocating a new boxing league in between amateur and pros. That's what we need. But we need to get some good fights, so that way some of those pro fighters can step down. Yep. Some of the not so good, the fighters that we think are really good, but they're not as high as they should be on the professional level. Shit, they fight in this other league, man. We get some good boxing because that's what we want. We want good boxing. Really, we're not really getting good boxing though, man. I mean, that last card should have been like a fire card. Matter of fact, nobody even answered my question. I never knew what happened to the Peterson brothers. I know Anthony Peterson. They punked him like always. He never gets a fight. They won't let him fight, man. And he's like 30 something. He's like, I think he's 36 or more. And they will not let him fight. Nobody will fight him. Because like they always talk about this reward and risk thing, I think the risk factor is too high for him. I wonder if Boots had that show on purpose to make people think he got the juice. Stop it, man. No, stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it. You could see he was frustrated. You could see he didn't know what to do. Man, he threw a punch so hard one time he almost ended. If the ring rope wasn't there, he would have ended out in the audience somewhere. He was swinging for the fences, man. I ain't never seen him swing like that. He was like, he was trying to kill the dude. I was like, man, come on. Come on, man. Everybody's not going to just stand there and let you beat on them like that. It's professional. Because first of all, you got to like take in consideration, like I said, that these people are professionals. If you are a professional, think about it. You're a professional. That a lot of shit that people think is going to happen to you is not going to happen because you're a professional. You are a professional. So a lot of this BS is not going to happen when you're professional. Simple. As simple as that, brother. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, undermine or underplay anything. But like I said before, they just were not, it was prep. It was like, I guarantee you, if you could be a fly on the wall, brother, I guarantee you, if you was in there listening, I guarantee you they was not thinking that this shit was going to go to this. Oh, don't worry, we'll probably, the conversation was probably like this. Oh, we'll probably get him out of there by at least 7, 8. We'll get him out early, probably earlier. You know, we'll get him out of there. He's going to come forward and do this. But boom, we're going to sit here. Our plan is to do this, you know, back foot. We're going to turn this way and we're going to, you know, we're going to land the right. We're going to land the uppercut. They had to be thinking something. They was going to land or do something. But it's, oh, shit, he running. When your coach and stuff is saying that somebody's running and you can clearly see they not running, then you know there's a problem. Houston, we have a problem. And that's what it was, that they had a problem. They wasn't ready. They wasn't expecting the movement. Had nothing to do with the running. But they just were not expecting the movement. That's what it was. You could tell because he was all happy that it went, you know, I'm happy that I went to 12 or whatever. I'm able to go. Come on. You know, you trained to go 12. Stop it. When you're sparring, you're not sparring just 3 rounds like I'm gonna put people out. You know, you're not one of them old school fighters. The old school fighters, sometimes they train. If they didn't, if they seen who they was fighting, sometimes they wouldn't train. It's hard. And a lot of times, sometimes, not a lot of times, but sometimes we would get great fights out of that when they didn't train. But you had some fighters that train like that. Like, I don't care. I'm knocking his ass out in 3 or 4 rounds. They're already making plans. Like before the 4th round, they already made plans. Like, I'm taking the wife out. We're gonna go here. Like, they already know. We're gonna have the post press conference, and then after that, I'm going to go eat, take my kids out, or do that. They're already making plans. Now, these new fighters, you can't do that. A lot of these younger fighters, you guys can't do that. And you shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I just got something delivered here. I got to go work on it in a little bit, so I want to try to get that done. But yeah, the money. So, the money, We're not gonna get boxing because of the money. So, what's the deal with the fights? What's the deal, Derek? Let us know. What's the deal with the fights for us being the fans? You know, I hope I just uncovered this. I just wanted to pull the blanket off a little bit. Maybe I know you guys, some of you probably didn't hear all of the show, but just go back because I'm not going to keep you company all day. I'm not going to keep you what you call held hostage or nothing like that. I got things that I got to go do today. And usually it's only supposed to be an hour show, man. So anytime we do 2, 3, 4 hours, that's just like a lot. But we could talk about it. But Tank, like I said, Tank is he's an avid professional right now. He's being professional, regardless if people like who he fights or not, because you know he's taking advantage. He's taking advantage of his stardom, which is giving him his money, and is giving him fights. I kind of don't blame him. He can more or less do what he wants to. I don't blame Tank. The reason I don't blame Tank do what he wants to, in my opinion. That's my baby nephew. So the reason I feel he can do what he wants, this is the reason. The reason I feel like he can do what he wants is because he's kind of been screwed. You know, he does not have all the fights he should have had. So just on that point alone, he got the right to be he could be a little bit salted up. We can get mad or upset, or we can say what we got to say. But hey, if he want to be salted up a little bit, let him be salted up. You know, if you want to get mad at him, get mad at him. But we can see that a lot of this stuff has been brought on by a lot of BS, you know, that didn't have to be. Should have seen a lot more fights out of Tank. Look, we have in the last 3 or 4 years, fans have almost made up as many excuses as fighters themselves. That's a damn shame when the fight fans and the fighter themselves has nothing but excuses. That's all we got is excuses. What excuse you got this time, Roy Jones? Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but I'm just saying. But everybody just seems like it's nothing but excuses, man. Yeah. It's like nothing but excuses. That's all we getting. But hopefully, we can get. Hopefully we'll get this done, man. Hopefully we'll get the fights. We'll get the fights in that we need to get in. They'll get their money. But I know the screws have been tightened up, brother and sisters. I know the screws have been tightened up to where I don't think can't be any crap fight. There shouldn't be any crap fights left for nobody, not even Boots. The pressure's on, and that's probably why Earl wants this money. Say, hey, all these are big fights. I need to get paid. If I'm gonna fight, and I don't know if I can blame him. If I'm gonna fight all these big names, all these guys, all these hungry lions, then y'all got to pay me, because I know I got to fight all of them. Because think about it, if he has to fight Keith, not so much, but anyway, you got to fight Keith, got to fight Bud, got to fight Boots, may have to fight Ortiz before he can move on. I'm just saying. But anyway, my shout out to all the real people that I see, and my shout out to all y'all that mess with me. Y'all know what this been and what this always is. Eagles Way of Boxing. Like always, man, nothing but blessings. Y'all know how we do this, man. What am I say? Huh? What am I gonna say? I'll catch y'all Friday, man. Y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. I gotta keep my eye on the weather because they said we're supposed to have 2 more storms, big storms, like worse than this. Shit, Eagle might have to be about it here, man. Come back and look at all my shit floating. Like, oh shit, look at all my stuff. What do you do in your mind, man? You just have to write everything off, huh? Well, you got to start over from scratch. Got to start over from scratch. I'm not gonna sweat, but y'all know what it is. Nothing but blessings, man, all the time, man. No matter if it's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or Monday, or Tuesday. Don't matter. I treat y'all that way. But we'll talk about it because I left out some stuff. I left out talking about, and I'll get you guys' opinion. You guys think about it, though. What do you guys think about Stavern coming back? Y'all didn't even know he's coming back, huh? Y'all didn't know he was coming back? Yeah, but that's what happens. You stay out of boxing. If that's all you got, that's all you can do is box. Hey, you need that money. You need that bread stolen. All right, brothers and sisters. Y'all take care out there. Yep. I'm going to catch y'all, man.